Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15.
And now your host, Catherine Turley.
Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show. I'm your host, Catherine Turley, and I'm so excited to be chatting with you today, to be here for what will be the first episode of Season 3 of the Fit 15 podcast show. So whether you're new here or you've been a listener who was on break with me for a little bit in between Season 2 and Season 3, I want to welcome you to the show. This show, whether you're new or a longtime listener, is one that I really want to be your show. So please don't hesitate to reach out to share with me your feedback and topics you want me to cover, guests that you want me to have on the show. You can always do that by going to podcast or emailing podcast@fitarmadillo.com. All right, another thing that's really exciting about today, if you are tuning in the day this episode is scheduled to go live, which is Tuesday, November 12th, 2019, is that my book, Superwomen's Secrets Revealed, Successful Women Talk About Fitting in Fitness and Dare You to Join Them, is now out as a paperback. I'm so excited. This happened over the weekend, and I'm just overjoyed with the response. I am going to tell you that I'm actually recording this before the book is up live, but I have had the ebook updated as well, and it's currently available for 99 cents. You don't have to have a Kindle to read the ebook, but you'll want to go to fitarmadillo.com/Kindle. That's the short link I made for you, to just directly go to Amazon to find the book and grab it for just 99 cents to check out the book. I know personally I'm more of a paperback book reader, but this book is actually a really good one to enjoy as a Kindle version, because you actually have different chapters with some fitness challenges in them, and it actually could work out well for that purpose. So, of course, if you grab the Kindle and you really want the paperback, I am not going to tell you not to get it, and I would be very appreciative of that. But just want to put that out there, that this is a book that I think does lend itself well to that Kindle format, that ebook format. So just something you want to check out for 99 cents. You can't go wrong, right? I don't think you can. So really excited about that. I did say that I'm sneaking on this podcast here to share this update before I'm looking at the back end for the paperback, but I am able to see the back end for the ebook today, and we have now hit #1 new release, received that orange banner for 3 categories on Amazon. So really exciting stuff. Grateful to everyone who has purchased the book so far, and hope you're enjoying it. Please share an update, and I'm going to tone down my excitement a little bit to bring on today's guest. All right, who is today's guest? Today's guest is the amazing Megan Lockhart. She is just awesome, and I recently connected with her, and I really was trying to figure out what was going to be the first episode of this season. I've interviewed over 40 people behind the scenes so far. That's what takes so long in between seasons, is just preparing episodes for you guys. And it was a really tough choice to figure out who was going to be the first person. But over the past few weeks, I've really experienced the power of community, and I wanted to kick things off by sharing this conversation I had with Megan about the power of community and encourage you to find your community, whether you are a fitness person. No, that's not what I wanted to say. Whether you are, I'm just so excited to be back. I'm sorry. I'm not going to even edit that out, okay? I'm keeping it real. Keeping my excitement real. Whether you are an entrepreneur like Megan and myself, or if you are someone who is looking for help and support on your fitness journey, or really anything you're going through, community is so important. It's going to make the difference for you. I actually am working behind the scenes on some stuff that is related to this. So if you're interested in that and want to learn more, because I'm already almost 5 minutes into the episode, guys, so it's a little bit out of control, please email me at podcast@fitarmadillo.com and use the subject community, and I'll spill the details, okay? All right, hope to share that with you. My guest today, as I mentioned, is Megan Lockhart. Megan is the creator and CEO of Hello Life Academy, a mastermind for female entrepreneurs who want to understand modern marketing and expand their businesses. Well, welcome to the podcast, Megan. I'm so excited to have you as my guest today.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we connected. You have the Hello Life Academy, and I was able to join the free mastermind. Yeah, I wasn't the best, most active participant, but you provide so much value. So, thank you for doing that. That was really cool, and definitely recommend people check that out. If you think you'll do that again next year?
Thanks. Yeah. So we do throughout the year, we do these 30-day pop-up groups that we call Now or Never. And they're focused on just doing things now. So we get entrepreneurs coming in all year round, and it is so much fun. So thanks for being a part of that. I know it can get quite overwhelming when you're trying to run your business and participate in a bunch of free things too.
But it was all about action and community building, which is kind of what we'll end up talking about today, and the power of that. So can you talk to us, maybe just bring the listeners up to speed on the evolution of your business and going from being the owner actually of a fitness company to the business you have now?
For sure, yeah. So the Now or Never that we just wrapped up, the community that you were talking about, was online, and the foundation of that started in 2014, which sounds so long ago. And it was in my home in a fitness studio. So I had a ballet bar community, and then evolved to a reformer Pilates classes. But we did that for 2 years, and I say we, and it was me. And I was teaching about 14 classes a week. So as a fitness instructor, my body was just like, whoa, this is getting pretty hard. And I felt older than I was. And then
definitely been there, by the way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You love it so much, and it doesn't feel like work, but you are giving people energy all day, every day, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So we evolved from that to then doing some online community things. So we built an online community, which was amazing. And then now we're doing Hello Life Academy, which teaches business owners how to create community.
Hi friends, it's Catherine, and I'm popping on here because that sound is your halfway point reminder. If you are joining us and going for an out and back walk, or maybe run, maybe you're stepping it up this season 3 of the podcast, that sound is your halfway point reminder. You'll want to turn around now. All right, back to Megan.
Through their businesses online. And it's been such a fun transition from each stage of my business. And I really had to watch my energy throughout the whole thing. And finally, I think I've got it, maybe.
No, it's awesome. So as you've gone through these just different changes in what you're offering, out into the world and trying to work on keeping your energy up, what are some lessons that you've learned just to kind of share with the listeners to help them if they're feeling like maybe their energy's getting a little low?
Oh man, this is like the $1 million question. If I could only ask every single entrepreneur this question, I feel like maybe I'd have the answer. Personally, it was learning how to say no to money. And I know that might sound pretty crazy, but to maintain my energy, I really had to say no to new clients. I had to say no to new opportunities, which meant no to some money. And I also had to learn how to say yes to being okay with taking a bath. And yes, being almost, well, you must relate to this as a fitness instructor. Being lazy feels really hard.
Right.
And if I wasn't doing something super physical every day, I felt bad. So I had to shift my mindset and find a community of people who reminded me, it's okay. It's okay to read books and listen to podcasts and not do a thing with your body for a little bit, not forever. But yeah, so that's what I would say. It was like really learning how to say no to things, even though they felt like really big opportunities, is just using my voice and saying, save your energy. This opportunity will come up again if it's meant to be.
Yes, I feel like we chatted a little bit. I've been going through this transition in my personal life, and I'm just like, well, there's this opportunity, and I better act now. And I just have to keep reminding myself that, you know what, there'll be things that will come up again. It's not the only time.
Yeah, and I think just to talk about this, not too much, but I think that the world in personal development says, say yes, like this opportunity is here. But really, if you're saying yes to everything, you're trying to be a superhuman, and it's going to take from you instead of giving to you, where it's a win-win, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And two, if you say yes to everything, you're not able to give, the energy that you would give to that client or that opportunity if you weren't being so drained by all the other things you said yes to, right?
Oh, mother of pearl. And I have a family. So I was saying yes to all of my beautiful clients. And by the time I went to put my kids to bed or go to the park with them, I was saying no to them. And I realized, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like they're my little people. They're these two tiny humans that I want to play with. That's why I started my business, right?
Right. So kind of keeping, I guess maybe what's important is keeping in your mind, why did you get into this in the first place, and how is that being affected by the opportunities or things that you're doing, right?
Exactly. That's a really good point, is thinking about what are you doing and how is it affecting the other things in your life. And if it's in a positive way, keep it going. But if you notice that there's a shift and it's affecting them in a negative way, I think that's when you pause and reevaluate where your energy's at, what's going on, and think, okay, I can make some changes. We're all choice makers here.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Okay, so one thing that you've talked about too, or that you've been focusing on doing, is helping women build community in their businesses. Why is that an important thing for this energy part that we've been talking about?
I love community. I feel like if you want to make any kind of progress in anything, whether it's your health, your friendships, your business, community is the key to success. I stand by that. I wish I could stand on a stage every day and say that. I think it's so important because have you ever been around a group of people who just spark, there's a fire inside of them, and that makes you want to do something different and more?
Yes, especially in your group, by the way. I felt like that when I was in there, so.
Yeah, and sometimes if you're in a negative headspace, you can't get into that. But the best thing is try, hang into that and celebrate when somebody else says, oh my gosh, I just, ran my first 10K, or I just made my first 10K. And communities remind us that we're human and we all need each other. No matter how independent you are as a woman, we need each other. And like I said, I love that. And I hope that every single human being can accept that and embrace it. We need each other. We need each other in a physical way, in a spiritual way, in a social setting, and everything.
No, for sure. I think, one thing I loved about your community, celebrating wins, right? I think sometimes we are really hard on ourselves, but when there's a community that's a positive community, you can make that safe space to celebrate a win and not feel like you're bragging. And could you talk a little bit about that, and anything maybe you've seen with clients or just women being able to do that?
Yes. So it's funny. We do also a day where we get to vent. And it's I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but basically I just tell everybody, go ahead and crap all over the things that are sucking right now. Just do it. But on the other side of it is, that's easy for us to do. It's easy for me to say, this happened, that happened, I'm not doing this, that didn't go well. And it's actually hard for people to toot their own horns and say, I had the best conversation with someone, or I did this, or I helped someone accomplish this. And it's hard for us, especially as women, to celebrate our successes. So I always encourage, almost at least once a week in our communities, to say, what do you want to stand tall and celebrate that nobody else is? Give yourself the gold stars. And when you do this to yourself, everybody around you starts naturally feeling better. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's huge. That's great. And the conversation shifts from, oh, my partner did this last night and he didn't do the dishes, to, oh my gosh, you dropped your kids off at school and you did the laundry and you ran a 10K and you made $100 today. That is amazing.
No, it's awesome.
It's super important. And honestly, if we could all just every single day give ourselves like those high fives, I think the entire world would be a little bit of a better place too.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know it's hard because I think our minds are programmed, right, to like find the negative and focus on that, and so it's easy to get stuck in that. We're just kind of programmed that way, right? But to have people that are trying to help you see what beyond that is very important.
It's really easy to be negative. And I mean, I think we can all take a second and think about a negative thing that happened today, and it comes right away. But when you ask people, what could you celebrate today? It takes a few minutes. They're like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. And I've had this conversation with so many beautiful people, and I'm like, oh, like what is so good about today? And they're like, nothing. I don't even know. And my heart feels so heavy because I think, man, like, let's change this. But then I feel like, yay, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to see the world in a better place. And the communities you have are willing to toot your horn for you.
Mm-hmm. And one practice that you had in the free mastermind, I don't know if you do this, I'm sure you probably do, is that gratitude practice, which I think is so important, and also, a great part of the community you have, but just a good thing for any community to help kind of keep your energy up, because if you find something to be grateful for, it makes you feel more up than overwhelmed.
We do this in our paid communities, and it's a little bit different because in our free communities, we tell everyone every single day, write one thing in your business that you're feeling really great about, so that when things get crappy, you look at this piece of paper and you say, holy mother of pearl, I've actually done quite a bit. In our academy, we do the same thing, but we do it every 3 months. And I have people write down every single thing they've done, from walking their dog to launching the podcast to getting the guests on the podcast to sending the emails, because we forget that we're doing so many great things. We're like, I didn't do enough. We're always chasing something else. And it's like, whoa, slow your roll, look at that paper and celebrate everything.
Mm-hmm. No, that's awesome. I definitely found that was a helpful thing for me, just trying to find something in the day that was in my business specifically, just to focus on.
Yeah, I'm so glad. And I think you could do the same. I should start doing the same, like a list about my fitness or a list about my friends. Like, what am I feeling great about my friendships, my social situation, my health situation, right?
Sure. No, for sure. Now, you had shared, we'll just touch on this briefly for the listeners, because you have the personal journey of like having the fitness business and like, teaching all these classes, which, yeah, I've definitely been there. I did like even more than that when I first started out, which was right out of college. And then I was away from the fitness industry for a little bit and went back in, like trying to do like somewhat near that, and it was just a recipe for disaster. I had an injury I couldn't get over and all that, which made me sad about my own personal fitness goals, which is another story. But you kind of had this journey where you had the fitness business, and then you kind of like did a 180 and weren't really focusing on your fitness. Could you talk about just kind of that period, and what got you back, and any tips for people that maybe they're going through something similar, even if they weren't a fitness person before, like just kind of trying to get back.
So I loved having the studio. I loved teaching classes. Pilates is this beautiful form of exercise too. And I was running a lot and I was doing all these great things. But when I was done, I was done. I was like, I do not ever want to step foot on a reformer or a ballet bar again. And it was coming from a negative mindset, obviously, instead of saying, oh, maybe I can do this twice a week, 3 times a week. And so after doing that for about 2 years, I did the complete opposite, and like just other side of the spectrum. I got so lazy. I ate out all the time. I did not even care anymore. And when that happened, my energy, I was like almost want to cry, because I was like, it was so emotional. I felt so sad a lot of the times. I didn't know how to have these conversations with people because I was judging people, because I had gone from positive energy through moving my body and always shifting the energy, and then just sitting down a lot on the computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, when they say it was like enough is enough, I started to like gradually just go for walks again. So I went from being super hardcore to walking. And it was exactly what I needed. And then I started cycling, and then a little tiny bit more now, and more challenging spin classes and things like that. But it was such an interesting evolution to watch what was happening to my mind and my business as I went from kind of super fit to super sloth. And then, so my biggest tip is, honestly, if I could say anything, is like, don't stop completely.
Sure.
At anything. Like, really try to be aware that, if you're doing something, maybe walk, or, even crawling is better than doing nothing at all.
Sure.
Because it's hard. It was so hard. Oh my goodness. It was so hard to get off the couch, because I am a perfectionist, and I couldn't physically do the things that I was able to do 2 years ago.
Right. I know you think you can just, or if you can't do what you were able to do, even if there's not a reason that you should be doing it, it can be very disheartening, right?
Oh, I felt like such a failure, and I don't even like using that word, but I was like, it hurts to walk 2 miles. Like, it hurts. So that was a hard thing energetically, but I also knew that if I could find some people who would be willing to walk with me or check in on me, I'd be able to do it. And that's what I did. So I found some people, and we're doing it one day at a time.
Back to that whole importance of community again, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so important.
So whether it's our fitness goals or business goals, we don't have to do it alone. We often try to, but
oh, I know. And like, really, how fun is it to even celebrate things by yourself? It's not that fun, right? Like,
right.
It's way more fun when there's a group of people, or even one other person or 2 other people, and you're like, oh my gosh, we did it. Look at us. Like, this is amazing. That feels good. Like, it's just people are so beautiful, and I want to always be surrounded by them.
I agree. I've really had that experience. It just, people have different ideas, and that's I think you find this too probably, but I feel in the fitness industry, I don't know if you ever found this, but everyone's very competitive, and it's kind of, you're not supposed to collaborate. But what I found is that, even in the fitness industry, everyone's really different. I just get very excited about, what people bring to the table and different things they have to offer. And and it was really cool to see just all the different business owners and ideas they had in your community. It was really, really cool and inspirational as well.
It's, we could probably talk about this on an entirely other episode, but I say this to all of our clients in fitness and health coaches and business coaches and storefront owners: be the person that collaborates with the person who is in your industry. Be that person, because you are going to shine and you are going to both grow. And I think we need to get rid of that whole stigma that, oh no, like they're doing the same thing as I am. It's like, no way. If you guys want to grow together, do it, because you'll just attract more clients.
Right. It's never, even like if you're teaching the exact same class, it's not, in terms of the format or the length or whatever, like it's not going to be the same, right? Because we have different personalities. So
totally. And in fitness, I'm pretty sure, like, if I get injured, I can't teach my class.
Right.
So I might actually benefit from having this other beautiful person who can do it. And And you never know where it's going to go. So yeah, the fitness industry definitely was quite competitive. It was like a whole other world.
No, for sure. Well, Megan, this has been so fun, just learning about, the power of community from your eyes and what you've seen building different communities and how they've been able to support you. Anything else you want to share with the listeners before we officially say goodbye, either on that topic or something else that's on your heart today?
Honestly, I think I hope and I pray that every single person can find community. And even if it takes 5 years or 5 minutes, just express gratitude within your community. And that's it. Like, as soon as you do that, you start to celebrate other people, they start to celebrate you. It's always about win-win situations. So find a community and practice that.
I love it. Well, now we mentioned Hello Life Academy once, but any tips for where to go to best find you? I'll put it in the show notes, but
Yeah,
just so people hear it.
You can find me all over the internet at hellolifeacademy.com, and we're the same on Instagram, so Hello Life Academy, and then we're the same on Facebook. So it's pretty easy to find us, and I would love for you guys to check out the free resources, the blog, and reach out if you have any questions at all.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Megan.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15.
For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast.
See you next time.
Hi, friends. It's Catherine. Did you miss me? I'm popping back on here for a few reasons. One, really just go to the show notes, because since Megan and I chatted in September, actually, a lot more goodness has been going on. She has a podcast, and she is also starting a book club that I think, because of some unforeseen circumstances, is actually starting this week when you're listening. So that wasn't planned, but maybe it was. Maybe the powers that be had that set up for us. So check that out. Check out the book club for sure. And if you want another book to read after Megan's book club book, don't forget to go grab my book. The ebook is available for 99 cents today, or you can grab the paper book. And the best way to find that is probably just to go to fitarmadillo.com/Kindle. That will take you directly to the Amazon page for the book. All right, guys. So honored to have you tuning in today, and I can't wait to share tomorrow's episode. It is going to include another awesome guest who's actually an author of a book that I added to the updated version of my book because I loved it so much and found it so helpful, and you can actually win a copy. So please subscribe to the show so you don't forget to tune in and try to win your copy of that book. So you might have a big stack of books, but they're all going to help you live your best life, and I hope you take us up on that offer for that. All right, I'm rambling. I'm going to let you go, but thank you for listening. If you haven't left a review yet for the show and are enjoying it, please do so. It means a lot. Thanks for listening, and I will chat with you tomorrow if you subscribe to the show. Bye for now.